Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Riesa, Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
That's right. And is it just me, or does it feel like there's a new acronym popping up every day
Always,
for something that's just this new thing people are talking about? Well, I learned a new one yesterday, DINKs.
Dinks.
D-I-N-K-S. You guys know what that stands for? Because they're on the rise.
Okay, double income, no kids?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are aware. The rise of the dinks. Right now, there is a big movement.
Rise of the dinks.
Rise of the Dinks.
There's a big movement with people celebrating being a dink, having two people in a relationship, having two incomes that are literally just for themselves, no kids, and just basically saying this is a better way to live.
I was a sink.
Single income.
At one time, I had kids, but they're all out of the house. So.
Yeah.
You know, and it's more and more. And, you know, also we were seeing that the marriage rate's actually going down, too. Like, the younger generation is like, why get married? Well, we can, cohabitate, and I guess that would be a part of it. A dink. And soon, when people do get married, then we'll see shrink-a-dinks.
But there's also a huge decline in births, too.
You're right.
Around the world, not just here in the U.S., but that's...
The K in that, right?
Exactly, the K in that.
That's right.
Well, you might be familiar with the book, The 5 Love Languages. Now, sexologist Susanna Weiss is releasing her own take, The 4 Lust Languages, to help you understand your sexuality. First up, if you get hot and bothered over a candlelit dinner, your lust language is romantic. According to Weiss, setting the mood is a must as it showcases a level of effort. Next up, lust language list harmonious, dubbed the sexy sibling of the love language. Harmonious is all about living in harmony with your partner. Okay, number 3 on her list, feeling connected. The connected type finds arousal and comfort in their partner's tenderness, and the lingo is not just about a physical connection. And the final lust language on her list is primal. These types prefer thrill-seeking adventures as a backdrop to their sexual activities and unzipping dresses on camera.
Very slowly, right?
Very slowly.
That's the backdrop right there. That's, it does seem pretty generic, though, doesn't it? It seems like you're one of those. And there's also, I've had nights where I went through all 4 of those. So.
There you go. How about the actual 5 love languages? What are you guys?
I'm physical touch, but I can tell you right now, I've gone through all the. How you doing? You still got a chance, right? She ain't put a ring on it yet.
I know.
So I'm physical touch. What about you?
It ranges at different. I don't know.
Is it depending on a person or who it comes from? It's what you give to the person is really what the love language is.
Well, they say there's one way that you receive love and one that you give it. So I probably give it with acts of service.
Okay. I like that.
Okay,
Jackson?
I don't know. I could be all 5 of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, and once you find it, you can hone in on it. You actually, you have to realize that might be what you want, but you have to understand what the other person wants, and then you're talking their language, and that's the whole thing.
We've got a relationship therapist with us on the show here. All right, who remembers the cult classic How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? I do. I still think about and my love fern, you let it die. The rom-com is perfectly cast with Kate Hudson as Andy Anderson, with Matthew McConaughey playing her love interest, Benjamin Barry. Now, it's hard to imagine anyone else playing or starring in this movie, but McConaughey recently revealed the reason he took on the role, and it might surprise you. While walking down the street, a mystic approached him and said, quote, "There's a movie you're considering right now. It's a romantic comedy. You have to do this or it will be one of the biggest regrets of your life." The actor went on to say, "I remember thinking, did the studio hire this person?" I laughed at the thought, but I also remember taking a more serious consideration. I think I even accepted the offer the next day. Wow. Now, when I first heard this, at first I thought, maybe it was just some random, it was actual mistake. But the fact that they got the detail of a romantic comedy, because you think at any point an A-list celebrity is going to have a lot of scripts on their desk.
That's true.
So it's very interesting that she specifically said romantic comedy.
I know Jackson sat down when McConaughey went around in his RV.
Really?
For Sahara.
Wow.
Yeah, Sahara.
Yeah.
He did a tour. I thought it was really interesting. He just went by TV stations and pulled an Airstream behind it. And Jackson got to
He was down at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. He set up his Airstream trailer there, and we went down and sat on lawn chairs and just shot the air for a while. Yeah,
that's amazing. that tops any story I have about anything.
Super nice guy. Yeah,
terrific. He was laid back.
How many times did he say "all right"?
I don't remember. Probably
that was like
the
heyday of all that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
All right. Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Riesa with Pascal. We're going to get into a little love and relationship stories for you. A woman who split from her own cheating fiance has revealed her 100% foolproof hack for finding out if your significant other is going to be unfaithful when you're married.
Okay.
Take a look at this. 4 months into a whirlwind romance with her now ex, she found out he had been unfaithful while she was pregnant with his baby. She decided not to have the child, but she forgave him and accepted his proposal just 3 days later. Now, in a bid to secure her finances and emotional well-being, she immediately suggested a prenup, which included a clause stating that if either of them cheated, the other half would be entitled to compensation for emotional damage. Although he initially agreed to the prenup, he soon lost interest in a lifelong commitment and the two split. She now lives by the old adage, once a cheater, always a cheater, and wants to protect other women from infidelity by encouraging them to get a prenup with a cheating clause. Now, she says it happened to her, it worked for her. What do you guys think?
I think it's a great idea, actually, and I willingly signed a prenup. Right, getting married, and I was like, I get it. It would definitely a person. If they know they'll lose something, I think they'll think twice before they do something wrong. And a lot of times it's emotional, and if they decide, well, that's it. Well, there's repercussions from it. You're not going to get out of it easily. I agree with it somewhat. It's a shame that we have to do that because you think when you make your vows, you keep those vows.
Right, I agree with that. I would worry that someone who had never cheated on that person would feel offended that they're being forced to sign something saying they won't cheat.
There should be an infidelity clause, though, I think, with any prenup, regardless of whether you're for it or against it or it matters. It should be in the prenup somewhere saying, all right, if such and such happens, then X, Y, and Z follows.
Right.
I think it's great. I mean, and you think it's a union, it's two corporations merging together, if you want to look at it that way. And if you are a corporation that has had problems in the past, you're definitely going to make sure that you safeguard yourself for the future. So I'm 100%. I would no issue with that at all. So and if you do, then you're like, well, what else do I not know about this person if they're not willing to make a commitment like that? All right, it's actually a trend favored by Victoria Beckham, the Duchess of Sussex, and even Crown Princess Mary of Denmark, but not everybody's in favor. Married women, including lots of celebrities, are now opting to upgrade or even change out their engagement rings after tying the knot. It's all in a bid to symbolize milestones in the relationship or simply because they want a little bit more sparkle.
Bling, bling.
You know what that is. Jewelers say that men tend to pick a safe design to propose with, but some wives later tailor it to their own taste when the couple can't afford to do so. Some who disagree with the trend argue that if you're going to upgrade your engagement ring, then it's just a ring because it's no longer your engagement ring. I have an opinion on it. Well, I'd like to hear what y'all
So I am a sentimental person, so I agree with that argument. Like, I would want the ring that I was proposed to. Like, this is the ring that's special to me. I do know there are some cases where maybe someone can't afford the ring that they want, so as they were saying.
No, it's completely true. It is.
So, I mean, in that case, maybe it's like it celebrates your achievement as a couple. Like, we got to this point where we could finally afford this thing, so let's celebrate our achievements by buying this thing we both wanted.
And you know, when you're dirt poor and that's all you can afford is a small little ring, it does say something. It's like, man, you know, I saved a lot of money for you to have this ring, and I know it's not much. I don't see a problem with upgrading it. I mean, you still like if you're tossing the old one, then there's an issue. But if you're walking around to show everybody your ring, you're really wearing it just for jewelry. Right. At that point,
what does it say? It's status for you or for your relationship, or is there really something more to it? Why not incorporate your old engagement ring into a new one so that you've got the sentimental part there, but you can upgrade?
So if your wife wanted to upgrade the ring,
I have no problem doing that. Yeah. No, I really wouldn't. I'm like, okay.
Now,
fine.
did she
needs to wear it.
pick out her ring?
Yes and no. She had her friend have a discussion, and she brought up to me. She goes, "Hey, you know, Jamie knows what kind of ring I like." She made it very easy for me.
Very clear.
All right.
She didn't know I was getting it for her, though.
All right, we'll be back with more right after this.